Let's talk about how rank advancement works at PMA. First, let's talk about white to blue belt. At PMA, we follow the curriculum that Pedro Sauer sets out for all his association schools. Pedro Sauer gives me a list of moves he would like everyone to know before receiving their blue belt. In the PMA student manual, all students can see how I have further broken down that list of moves into lists of moves I would like my students to know at their first stripe, second stripe, and so on. I only do this for white to blue belt. I feel that it is important for the structure to be there early on for my students so that expectations are known and easily attainable goals can be set. Jiu-jitsu is big and confusing when it's new, and people receiving their first, second, third stripe better thrive when they know what's expected. The way that I selected the techniques people should know in their first stripe is by those moves' ease of application, lack of necessary athleticism, and most immediate usefulness in any altercation someone might run into. I don't even want a student who's trained for 1 or 2 months to be out of their element if a self-defense situation were to come up. By their third stripe, most white belts will know almost all of the techniques required for blue belt. I award a fourth stripe on any white belt who's showing not only mastery of the required techniques, but also implementation of their jiu-jitsu knowledge in sparring. There's no getting around the fact that jiu-jitsu, the martial art, is best learned through its practice against a resisting opponent. And that's what sparring is. Time and attendance are also factors. There simply will never be a PMA student who ranks up every week. We have a minimum number of classes required for each advancement. From white to blue, that class requirement is about 30 classes per advancement, but rarely happens quicker than 3 months' time. And from blue on, it is 100 hours per advancement, which with our 45-minute classes is 134 classes. Lastly, and it's not something I always talk about or reward in the moment, though I try, good citizenship is another component to rank advancement. None of us want someone to get a black belt in an effective martial art like ours who doesn't demonstrate the traits of a good person and training partner and community member. Now let's talk about rank advancement at PMA beyond blue belt. When students are working toward their purple belt, there is also a list of moves provided by Pedro Sauer for our students to know before they are able to be awarded the purple belt. This list goes deeper into the ground game of jiu-jitsu, for example, attacks and sweeps from the guard. I have not broken this list into sub-lists for stripe advancement through blue belt. Blue belts are encouraged to study these techniques on video, in class, and in breakouts with other blue belts. They should not only practice, but also attempt to use these moves in their sparring, which by this time is getting good enough in a room with enough people ranked lower than them to try new things safely and with some success. If I award a purple belt to a student, it is a very big deal. It basically indicates that as a coach, I believe that student will one day become a black belt. Rank advancements after the receipt of a purple belt come down to time and dedication and attendance and citizenship as before, but the work you put in will look different. Some of it will be helping students coming up behind you. Some of it will be managing your own practice and improvement alongside your coaches. And some of it will come down to how you overcome plateaus and doldrums in your own learning. These are inevitable, and it is a test of character, dedication, and discipline to push through them, a process through which you'll inevitably improve these traits in your life outside of jiu-jitsu as well. Lastly, I want to talk about the ceremony around belt rank advancement at PMA. Once or twice a year at PMA, we will have a ceremony night for those ready to rank up. On those nights, those students will demonstrate their skill and we will put them to the test in many ways. I will need the help of every student of every rank to do this, and you will not want to miss your friend and classmate's big night. Think of this as a graduation ceremony, and please plan to attend any such event. These are some of the best memories that we make at PMA, and congratulating our newly ranked members in person on their big night is important to them, and being present also helps prepare you for your big night. Before we go, please know that discussing the timing or deservedness of belt advancements, be they your own or other people's, is frowned upon from an etiquette perspective, and doing so may even delay the award of your next rank. Keep your focus on your improvement, not your rank, and advancement will come.